Hello, I'm Kapil Batra. I'm a Salesforce MVP. I'm from Ajmer, Rajasthan. It's a small town. I'm working as a lead software engineer at Lead Maturation. It's a San Francisco based technology company. I'm a remote employee. So for me, it's always work from home. Apart from that, I'm having a blog and a YouTube channel where I share my knowledge, some cool stuff, and technology related videos on Salesforce. And yep, recently the channel is focused on Lightning Web Component. Yep.
So Salesforce MVP, lead engineer, blogger, YouTube creator, and whatnot. That's quite a mix-up of everything. I am Khyati Mehta, host of this awesome podcast, Salesforce of Bits with Khyati, and we'll hear the stories and insights from the man himself. So let's head back to the initial days and start things off by asking Kapil about his college days.
Okay. Well, in college, I was a BCom student. So I'm a BCom graduate. I was an average student as it never caught my interest. And at that time, it was just a degree that is needed to get a good job. Then later on, I joined some computer courses, and that was related to different languages. Like I learned multiple languages like Java, C, C++, then ended up on C sharp. Then I came to know, like, yes, this is my interest. That was a turning point in my journey. So I was doing my graduation and that computer course side by side, basically. And I was very good at it at the initial stage at the time of learning. So at the end, I ended up there by being student of the year. And then later on, I got a job as a Microsoft .NET developer.
Okay, so how did it feel when you became the student of the year, and what did you do for it?
Actually, it was kind of a mixed feeling because, it was completely unexpected because, it was never one of my, list of goals. I'm a aimer kind of person. So, whatever I want to achieve, so I basically aim for it. So that was quite, unexpected. So yeah, I mean, it felt good. You get a lot of attention and, as it was the first time they were selecting something, and it was a 3 years course. So for that 3 years I was student of the year, so that was a quite surprising. And yep, it feels good. Yep.
We definitely love that aim of yours. So how did you come to know about Salesforce?
Okay, so the Salesforce thing, actually, that is another good story. So I was working as a .NET developer and I was very good at it. But as I mentioned, like, I'm from small town, and hence, the opportunities were also likewise. Then later on, one of my friend introduced Salesforce to me. He was already a Salesforce developer, and then later on he introduced Salesforce to me, like, these are the things here, and that's how we work. And then I realized, like, yes, I mean, the cloud is the future of everything. At that time, I was not aware about the culture, and later on I realized, like, it is a big community. And at that time, learning was, I mean, it is still fun with Trailhead, but at that time it was more fun with Trailhead because I have just started my journey with Salesforce. So Trailhead and all these things were quite new for me. And then after 6 months, I think after 6 months of it, I resigned as a .NET developer and ended up being a Salesforce developer.
So what was that turning point for you that you knew that Salesforce is for you? Like what was it? Like when did you know about it?
Actually, I just at the initial stage, I just thought, like, I should give it a try. But when I became a Salesforce developer and when I was working in an organization as a Salesforce developer, then at that time I realized, like, as compared to .NET is a completely window based technology, and we have to work on a specific machine. At the time of .NET, we were working on some offline and online projects. But when I jump into Salesforce, then it was all in cloud. So basically that was the thing. And that was, I don't know, like, somehow I'm that kind of person who goes with the flow. So I don't know, somehow that flow dragged me here, or there were few circumstances due to which I came across this great Ohana.
Yes. So speaking about Ohana, how did you find it? Did you always knew about it, or or someone just recommended it to you, or you just bumped into it? How did you find it?
Actually, it's kind of I just bumped into it. Actually, when I just joined Salesforce, I mean, after 6 months or maybe in a year, I was not aware about that. Like this community is so large, but I still remember like once I was having some issues and I discussed it with my mentor, and he suggested me like you should check out the community first. I mean, we were already having the Stack Overflow and all these things, but then later on I came to know like Salesforce is having its answer community. So that was the first time I came to know like how huge it is and how big it is and how it can help me and how I can take benefits of it. So that was the time when I came to know all about these things. And yep, here I am today.
We are super glad that you are here. So you are doing extremely well, and you have been recognized for the work you are doing for the community. So how does it feel being recognized? How does it feel being an MVP?
Of course, it feels good. I mean, I think it is the biggest recognition one can get, from this community. And here in this community, it's always about giving back. So it is just a recognition of what you did on the community. I mean, you just have to keep doing the good work, and definitely then you will be getting these kind of recognitions.
Yes, totally. Like, we are here to give back to the community. So does it come with lots of responsibilities, or is it otherwise?
You must have heard that like with great powers come great responsibilities. But it's
So
not like
true.
that here. Yeah, it's not like that here. So here, you just have to keep doing the good work. I mean, after being an MVP, I don't feel like there's any burden or any responsibility on me. I'm completely free right now. I mean, we don't have such kind of responsibilities like you have to do these things if you are a MVP. So yep, overall, yeah, overall, if we see it, it is a very very good experience. Yep.
So being an MVP is like having a huge platform in front of you to showcase your talents. So definitely, around the world, many trailblazers must be connecting with you. So how do you manage your time between YouTube, between your work, between just being active in the community? How do you manage it all?
Actually, it's quite difficult nowadays because, honestly, I started it as a hobby, the videos and blogs, and now, it feels like, a kind of a responsibility because, like I'm putting my videos on weekends. So if I miss something in weekend, let's say if I miss a weekend in between, then I'm getting messages on my Twitter and LinkedIn like, why didn't you post a video? We were waiting for the video, because there is a specific set of audience, which who waits for my video, so it's kind of a small, I would say, a small responsibility. So it is quite difficult to manage these things because in weekend, so basically, see, for developers, weekend is the only thing, where they can work on their personal things. I mean, apart from this business work.
Yes.
But yeah, overall, see, it depends like how much you enjoy the joy of giving. So it completely depend on that.
Yes. So, as you said, you have this joy of giving back to the community. So, is it just giving back to the community, or you are also learning in the process?
Actually, I would say it's likewise because whatever I'm sharing on weekends, it is what I'm learning on weekdays. So I would say it is likewise. Whatever I'm learning, I'm sharing these things, and by sharing those things, I came to know across some new technologies because to create new content, first you have to do research on it. You have to prepare an example of it. You have to try it first before recommending to it your subscriber, to your users. So I would say it is likewise. Like I'm learning also, and I'm sharing the things.
Yes, that is a great point. Like when you give back, you are learning in the process. I
Correct.
really believe with you on this. So you also talked about answer community. People, there must be people who don't know about this. Would you like to enlighten some knowledge on it?
Yes, of course. So when I first came across this answer community, actually, at the initial stage, everyone, everyone is having some development related issues, admins are having admin related issues. So in answer community, nowadays the answer community is so active. Like the minute you will post question in it, within I think next 4 to 5 minutes, you will be having at least one or two answers on it. you know and apart from the answer,
That's a lot of
sometimes you
time,
get,
not
yeah.
even 4 to 5 minutes. It's like 4 to 5 seconds these days. People are so
Actually,
active there.
at my time, I mean, around a year back, it could take around 4 to 5 minutes, because at that time, it was not much active. But nowadays, I would say, like, as you said, like, it only takes few seconds to
Yes.
get answers on the questions. But the one plus point of this community is, sometimes you get very good suggestions in it. Let's say if I'm having a query, like if I post my requirement, like I'm having this kind of requirement, how can I get, how can I finish it, or how can I prepare a solution for it? So in that case, I mean, you won't be getting any link for that requirement. Some trailblazers have to give their suggestions, and that is the best part of the community. For one question, or I would say for one requirement, you can have multiple solutions. So I think that is a very good point to use this community. Yep.
Yeah, and that is true because I have been active in answer community since maybe 8 to 9 months now. So even I love the community a lot because while you answer, you are learning things in the process. So you are not always correct because what I feel is you are not always correct. Sometimes even I screw up with the answers, but then there are people to correct you and learn with them. So I love answer community. I think everyone should check it out.
Yep. Now, if you have mentioned it, so I would say I have already seen you on Answer Community, and I'm really appreciating whatever you are doing, and you are doing a very good job. I can see you are, one of the top five answer leaders there. So I really appreciate it. You are doing a very good job. Yep.
Thank you so much, Kapil. So, coming to your journey, I absolutely love your journey, and all your efforts are being recognized very proudly. So, all the trailblazers who are interested in starting their YouTube channels and blogs, here is a gold question for you. So, Kapil, any advices that you want to give out to the ones who wants to follow the path you followed?
Okay. So actually, I would like to suggest only one thing. I would like to give only one advice. Like, there are no cheat codes. There are no shortcuts. If you want to start from level one, the first lesson I learned is don't start from level one. Always start from level zero. Whatever you plan, just don't dream for it. Instead of, I would suggest you to aim for it. Don't become a dreamer. I would suggest you to become an aimer. Just aim for your desires, and yes, definitely you will get succeed in it.
So that's a quote that you always should have in your mind. Don't be a dreamer, aim for it.
Actually, that is the path what I am following. I mean, I'm still, following it. Whatever my desires are, I just aim for it. There are basically two kind of person, I believe. The one who dream for it, and the second one, because once you dream for it, even though if you get succeed in it or not, so in that case, you don't have anyone to blame for that thing. But once you aim for it, that means, and still, you didn't get that thing, then you know who to blame.
Yeah, but that's really a good code. Once you aim for it, then that's your aim. You have to get it, and you'll love when you
Correct.
get
I
it.
think we should always aim for the, even though it is a, maybe it could be a certification, it could be a title,
Yeah,
it could be a job. I mean, you should not ever dream for it. Like, some says, like, I dream to work in this company, and I'm like, why are you dreaming for it? Just aim for
yeah,
it. Just make it your aim, and definitely you will get success.
yeah. That is really cool. I am taking that back with this with me. Like I'll aim for things now. So
Definitely it will help you up.
yeah. So what if people fail down a little while starting things, while starting new things? We have these times wherein we don't get achieve what we want. So what should be the point that we should keep in our mind rather than thinking negatively?
See, what I learned is, like, failure is a part of life. Okay. So so whatever you're planning, If you are starting from basic, let's say if you are starting from ground level, I would suggest you to not start from ground level. Start with underground level. Go one step back and think like what goes wrong and what can be done here. So
Mm,
I think that could help anyone just to overcome these things.
yep. I'm sure all the points are noted. So that's our show. Now, before we go, last question to you, Kapil. Describe Salesforce community in one word.
Okay, that's a
The toughest
difficult one
question for the
because
day, right?
yep. So yeah, I can describe it in words, but I would take few additional. So this community is family. The family is word for it,
Yeah.
and we can say social because you get connected with each other. So this community is social. The community is all about people. So I would take that word as well. And at the end, I would like to take succeed together because this community is all about get to know each other and succeed together.
And uplifting each other.
Yep.
Yep. Again, thanks to Kapil for the sharing your knowledge with us and inspiring young trailblazers. Thank you all for listening. See you all at the next podcast.